What's up, everybody? Brett Okamoto from ESPN, joined today by future UFC Hall of Famer Frankie Edgar, who has, over the course of his entire career, spoke to the media after wins, after losses. So speaking after losses, nothing new. But Frankie, appreciate it, man. I appreciate the time because I'm sure talking after a loss is not as much fun as talking after a win, of course. So first off, just want to ask, how you're doing. We're about, what are we now? We're only 3-4 days removed from your loss to Cory Sandhagen. How are we feeling back in New Jersey?
Yeah, I mean, the body's good. Body's actually probably the best it's been after fighting a long time, obviously, the fight being so quick. I'm disappointed. It's tough when you put that much time into something, and, it's just tough to really, walk away from that and really get anything from it, anything positive at least,
Mm-hmm.
So, that's always tough, man. Fights, we only fight a couple times a year, and we hang everything on that fight, and when it doesn't go well, you're sitting on that loss for a long time. And knowing that what I have to deal with until I get back in there is, it's just tough. It's tough mentally.
You mean knowing that like that loss essentially stays with you until the next time you get to go into the octagon?
Absolutely, man. The only thing that gets rid of a loss is a win, for me at least. It gets better with time, obviously. It doesn't affect the person I am and all this, but it hangs with me, man. It always has in the past, at least.
This might sound like an obvious question, but why do you think that is? Like, do you feel like a man got the better of you? Do you feel like it's because like maybe a title shot was so close, and so you don't reap the rewards from like a win? Like why do you think the loss just hangs on you? Like, especially because you've had a long career and you've dealt with things before. Like, why do you think it's that the win is the only thing that can get rid of it?
Because in this sport, that's the fun thing. Everyone said, training's not fun. Working out so hard to it hurts is not fun. Dealing with being sore, dealing with injuries, that's not fun. The only fun part in this game is winning. Mm. And you're willing to put up with all that stuff because the winning is so high. You know what I mean? And when you don't get that win, it's like you don't get that. Like the week after a win, man, you're walking on cloud nine. It's just a feeling that's tough to explain. And a week after a loss is like, man, you're walking on coals, for a while, and it takes a while to get over. For myself, I've definitely gotten better with it over the years, more mature about it, I guess you could say. But it's still, the pain's still there, Is
there anything to say about the fight? I mean, very quick, right?
I mean, I watched. I didn't watch the 28 seconds of it. I watched the very end of it, obviously seeing what happened. I the whole idea was to push him back. I was doing that. I think I just feinted low twice without throwing something, and it cost me. And, hats off to Cory, man. Perfectly timed, a knee, and yeah, he landed on the button. I mean, it's just suck, man. It really does.
What is that like watching that yourself, watching that happen to you?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't like, it's just, it's not even real. It's like not even real, man. You heard my podcast. I don't remember it really. Mm-hmm. I don't remember walking out of the cage on my own accord, all that stuff, but, and I was forgetting some stuff in the back, but it all came to, probably 10, 15 minutes later. And, it's just, it's what it is, man. This is, like I said, this is an unforgiving sport, and it sucks, man. I'm gonna be on this guy's highlight reel forever, and that's just gonna play forever. But it is what it is, and easily could have been him on the other end, and I've been on the other end of those as well.
I heard you say in the podcast that you haven't been online, you haven't been looking at memes, and actually, dude, the only meme that I've seen is a meme. Basically saying that there are no memes about you getting knocked out. It's like that photo of Daniel Cormier sitting in bed looking at his phone, yeah. and he's smiling at it, and it's like the line is like me looking through the internet and not seeing any memes about Frankie Edgar getting knocked out, because and I know you're a humble guy, you almost don't take compliments very well, but I think it's because everybody just respects you, man. It's like, it is crazy that would happen in a big fight, and it just wasn't all over the internet, man. I mean, no one was really celebrating that. So I'm sure you can feel good about that. And then you mentioned walking out. Do you mind going through that again? Because, when I texted you yesterday, I watched the podcast. I thought that was really cool that you would put that out there. You would talk about that experience, because a lot of fighters aren't willing to do that. So, kind of walk us through like the moment what do you first recall, I guess, after that, taking that shot?
Yeah, it's part of the game. I'm going to share it. It's not something that I'm proud of, obviously. And some people may think it's scary, but, like I said, I've dealt with this in sparring before. And, if you're in the fight game, you probably hear these stories before as well. But yeah, I didn't really come to it until I was in the back. I remember that's the only first thing I remember. I'm sitting around the doctors, going through that whole process with them. Mark and Ricardo are next to me, and I'm like, Mark, what happened? He's like, you fought. And I kind of figured that, I'm like, but I just couldn't remember who I fought. I'm like, who'd I fight? And he said, Sandhagen. I'm like, and I'm trying to remember training for the guy. And I just could not remember training for him. I'm like, since when was I supposed to fight him? I thought maybe I just took this fight on short notice or something. He's like, bro, 2 months. You've been training for this guy 2 months. And man, I just couldn't wrap around my head. The doctor asked me what date it was. And I for the life of me, I could not remember. I'm like, September, December, and that's when they said, all right, we're going to go get a CAT scan, whatever. I'll go to the hospital. And then on the way to the hospital, the nurse in the ambulance said, what day of February is it? I'm like, boom, the 6th. And right away, that's when things started snowballing. I started, remembering, then I remember like the warm up. I remember even the first 20 seconds before getting hit with the knee. So everything came back to me. But I don't remember walking out of the cage though.
Huh. Is that like, is it like waking up from like a dream or a nap or something? Like when you're in the back, like it's crazy to me that you like initially in that moment, you wouldn't have even known that you fought. That, that just seems so foreign to me, that like you're in the back and may like everything else about like maybe not remembering the fight right away, or of course the shot that put you out, but to not even remember like that, like are you sitting there thinking you're about to fight, or like are you confused? Like what is that like?
Yeah, I was confused. I figured like something was up, like because everyone's around me. Like I knew, like I kind of figured something was up. I lost the fight. I just didn't know how it happened, and I didn't know who I fought. And it wasn't like I woke up from a dream. It's just kind of I just remember sitting down, and now I'm with it. It's not like I woke up like, oh, where am I? It's just, I guess, your body just starts trying to piece stuff together. Your mind, at least,
Mm-hmm. Well, and you said a lot of people might think that's scary, but if you're in the fight game, you've dealt with it before. Like, I would still think that even if you're in the fight game and you're like, that's happened to you before, that it's still scary. Like why does that not scare you, do you think?
I mean, dude, this is what I've been doing my whole life. I mean, I understand the risks, and there's nothing we can do about it. It already happened. I still feel like I'm pretty with it, and a lot of people want to, they look at that it was a nasty knockout for sure. But was that any better than me getting my head beat in for a round by Gray Maynard, and still finding a way? I mean, I took one shot here. At Gray Maynard, I took 15 shots, so what's better? I don't know, and it's so funny. Like when you get old, people are like, oh, now you got to retire. If I got knocked out at 25, would you say retire? So it is what it is.
What is it like? So you leave the arena and you go to the hospital. Like what is the rest of the night like? Because I mean, we see the knockout, and then we don't see you guys again until like right now. Like what are we missing? What happens when you leave the arena?
Yeah, I left the arena, went to the hospital. Was there for like an hour. They CAT scanned me. They said you're good. No brain bleed. You can go. I get back in the car with Mark and Ali. Mark was waiting for the hospital out me. They took me to my family. I went to where my family was, called my friends, and I went back and I ate some cheeseburgers, and self-medicated a little bit and went to bed, and then woke up and flew home in the morning.
Yeah. Are you in a lot of pain at the hospital after something like that?
Nah, not at all. I was in no pain. I mean, I had a headache. That's about it, Yeah. Took some Advil and I was good to go.
So, you mentioned that people are saying you should retire, or, and you get like very defiant about it in the last couple of years, anybody saying that like, oh, Frankie's slowing down, or they bring up your age, or like you have a way of reacting to it. That's like, you are defiant, saying that no one's in the gym with you, and the people that know are around you. What are those people around you saying after a fight like that? Like, what are the conversations like between, your wife and your family and Mark? What do you guys talk about after that?
Yeah, I mean, Mark knows. He knows me best. Mark obviously my wife, she's not going to say anything that I don't want to hear. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
she knows how to play it right, I guess you could say. And I know if she's worried, like 100% worried about me, she would say it,
Mm-hmm.
But Mark knows, I of course, after every fight, I don't care with my first loss or my last loss, I'm always thinking like, I losing sucks. I hate it. I mean, everyone hates it, but I don't want to, you almost don't want to do anything after it, And so you have these thoughts like, man, I don't know if I want to do this, and Mark's like, dude, what are you talking about? One win back, one fight you win and that erases that loss,
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not thinking of stopping anytime, at least now, not after this one.
So you're definitely not retiring now, but what will that conversation look like? Like, is it just an ongoing conversation? Is it just like a topic that you're not even, like you just said, I mean, you bring it up, it's almost out of disappointment because of the loss. Like, when will the actual like real conversation of like, when is the right time to walk away from this sport? Like, how would that conversation happen for you personally?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when it's going to happen. And it's going to just, I guess, it's just going to have to happen one day. And it may be me and maybe my coaches. I mean, I'm hoping it's me first. I don't want to be the guy that's like, yo, you need someone tell me that I need to walk away. But it may take that. I don't know. The type of person I am, it may take my coaches and my wife to be like, yo, it's time to walk away, And I just know that time's not now. And I feel like they know that time's not now as well.
Mm-hmm. For anyone who would disagree with you and say, Frankie, you were known as this guy forever that could never be finished, and in the last 2.5 years, you've been finished 3 times in the first round. And then, you had that fight against Max Holloway. That's a 5-round fight. You had the fight against Pedro Munoz. That was a 5-round fight. Like, people who are not like, saying you suck, leave, but saying, hey man, like consider these, like this is reason why you should consider walking away. Like, does that make any sense to you? Or you just think that that's like noise, or just like people that just don't really know what's going on with you? Like how do you respond to something like that?
Yeah, I do feel it's people that have maybe my well-being and concern, but they don't know me enough. If Mark says that to me, or Ricardo said that to me, or Chris, or my wife, then I'll take it with more value. You know what I mean? Someone that doesn't know me, just sees me from outside, says, oh, you got knocked out by this guy. Like, yo, I got knocked out by Ortega. I got hit with an elbow. I got hit with a head kick and then uppercut. All right, I got put down. Mm-hmm. I fought Zombie, hit me with a good shot. I got down. This jumping knee probably would have knocked out 99% of people in the world, right? Yeah. It happens, But again, I was in there, like you said, I was in there with Max Holloway for 5 rounds. I was in there, Pedro Munoz, number 5 guy in the world, for 5 rounds. I mean, I think I still have that ability, But I won't be this guy that's going to constantly just keep getting KO'd. I will have to look at myself in the mirror and figure something out if this keeps happening. But I just don't think the time's now.
What do you think you can't? Is it more of a feeling of like you can't walk away from something, or is it more of a feeling like you really feel like there's still something you want to accomplish? Like, or is there something about like being in there that you just can't walk away from?
I can't walk away from it like that, But yeah, I mean, I still enjoy doing what I do, and the fact is I know what I'm capable of, Mm-hmm. If this fight went the distance like I planned it, people, even if I lost, people will be saying a different tune, because mm-hmm. I know how I perform in the gym. I know how I perform against my peers, and I know I have more to offer.
Mm-hmm. I guess the question though is like, even if that's true, and I'm sure it's true, and I'm not trying to turn this into a Frankie Edgar should retire, but this is like a topic that's out there now, obviously. If that is true, but we know that, you know what I mean? Like that becomes the part of the conversation about fighters retiring, right? Is that like why take the risk? Why put yourself in that risk? Like, yeah, no one really doubts that you could go out and you're capable of beating Cory Sandhagen, but it didn't happen that way. And then you took damage. Like, so what's the point now? Like, you've already accomplished everything. You're a Hall of Famer. You've got a title. Like why keep going? Like what is the answer to that for you?
I mean, I never fought for those things. Never fought to be in the Hall of Fame. I never fought to be considered the best. I fought because I wanted to fight and because I wanted to challenge myself. And I still have these challenges and these inner demons or whatever that I need to to bring the light or to figure out what I got going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like, I feel like I have more to offer this sport, and I can't go out like that, like 28 seconds, bro. This is not a way for me to walk away. You know, if I went in there and maybe got battered by Cory and like, hey, I just can't keep up. All right, maybe that's different. But for something like that, man, I mean, that's just tough for me to say, you know. I prepared for, 2.5 months. I do everything right when I prepare. I always have. Every fight, every camp, win or lose, I always do everything the right way. I'm always 100% prepared. I got a great team behind me. I just want to see it materialize more before I make a decision based on, something that happened in 28 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that's probably how you will go out then, is off of a loss where a guy is just where it's clear that you're a step behind him? Like, is that what it's going to take? Is that realization?
I don't know.
Unlikely you'll walk away on a win.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I get some crazy 28-second knockout win, maybe I walk away then. Who knows? But I mean, right now that ain't the way to go out.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think the next step is? Like, when do you want to fight again? Like, what? I mean, are you going to stay at 135? Like, what are you thinking about your next move?
Yeah, I'll stay at 135. I mean, I'm probably a 35 pounder. The weight was rather easy to make. Again, this time around, I felt great. I mean, I was planning on. I think I always wanted to fight in July, no matter what. That was kind of my plan this year. I'm gonna probably try to stick to that.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious. Going back to something we spoke about previously, your experience in the back. Like, when you guys are in the gym, or you guys like you've been in the sport a long time, do you guys share stories about what it's like to come to get knocked out and then come in the back? Like, what is like common, or like what are some of the stories that you've heard in the back, and like how would you relate your experience to some of the things you've heard?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just relate to my own experiences. I've been in sparring, and I got hit with a knee that didn't put me down. I mean, Mark didn't even know that I got hit with the knee, really, and I remember him saying, "Oh, we have one more round." And in my head, I'm like, I don't remember. Like, I was doing 6 rounds that day, and I'm like, how do I have one more round? I don't remember doing 3 and 4. So like, situations like that. That's where I definitely have been in that situation.
Do you think you'd be okay, like, as your career continues, that because it's one thing that's tough about this sport, and a lot of things are tough about this sport, but as you get older, like that's part of the way it goes, is that young guys try and make their name off of you. And you're fighting dangerous guys, and so, like, at a time when, and I know you don't feel like your skills are declining. I personally don't either. I mean, you're still top 5 of at 135 going into it last weekend. But as you continue to get older, like, you're always constantly fighting the top guys. Like, would you want to stick around and fight? Are you like one of those guys that are like, I got to fight the top guys. If I'm not fighting the top guys, then I'm not interested. Or do you love competition so much that, like, you would fight like some of the middle tier guys, like towards the end of your career, just almost even the playing field?
Yeah, I mean, I'm game for anything, really. Honestly, I'm game to compete. I think me as a competitor and the person I am, I need to kind of look at someone to shoot towards. But I'm down to fight anybody, for real. I've never really picked any of these guys. They tell me who to fight. Yeah.
Well, again, man, I really, really appreciate you being open to it and having this conversation with me. And, just, I guess, enjoy your family for a little bit. And July will come up before you know it. And, we'll be excited to see you and excited to see what's next for you. But we appreciate the time, Frankie.
Appreciate it, Brett. Take care, bro.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.